Terence Crawford showed signs of his age in his recent fight against Israel Madrimov, which took place in August during his debut at 154 pounds. At 37 years old, Crawford no longer possesses the speed and energy he once had, and this became evident in his struggle to secure a convincing victory. Moving forward, Crawford will have to significantly improve if he wants to have any chance against Sebastian Fundora, who is not only much younger at 26 but also holds both the WBC and WBO junior middleweight titles. Fundora, with a towering height of 6'6", has a fighting style defined by constant pressure and relentless punching. For Crawford to win, he would need either to knock Fundora out or match him in punch output, but the latter has never been Crawford's strong suit. Crawford typically throws fewer punches and relies more on strategy and movement to outsmart his opponents, which is similar to the style of Shakur Stevenson. Furthermore, it seems that Crawford has given up on the idea of facing Canelo Alvarez at 168 pounds for his titles. There's been no movement in that direction, and Canelo himself has shown no interest in the matchup. The potential fight would be an attempt to create a high-profile celebrity-style event, but Canelo has no intention of giving Crawford a shot just for the spectacle. Analyst Hank Lundy highlighted this reality, pointing out that Crawford has not demonstrated the ability to step up to a higher level, which is what would be required to compete with fighters like Fundora. According to Lundy, younger fighters are able to shift into a different gear and fight at a much higher intensity from the start of the match, while seasoned veterans like Crawford need several rounds just to warm up. This puts Crawford at a disadvantage against younger opponents who can operate at full speed from the opening bell. Roy Jones Jr. also weighed in on the discussion, stating that the outcome of a potential fight between Crawford and Canelo would come down to who wants it more and who has the better game plan. He believes that if Crawford, known as Bud, could force Canelo to box with him instead of brawling, he might be able to win. However, it's apparent that Crawford has possibly reached his ceiling in terms of what he can achieve. During his fight against Israel Madrimov, Crawford showed that he could take punches at 154 pounds, but the overall performance wasn't impressive enough to suggest he could compete with Canelo, who fights 2 divisions higher at 168 pounds. The fight with Madrimov, which ended in a close decision, highlighted that Crawford might not have the youth, strength, or size needed to move beyond the 154-pound division effectively. This performance suggested that Crawford may have hit the limit of what he is capable of at this point in his career, especially when facing larger and stronger opponents. Terence Crawford's current situation serves as a reminder of the challenges that many elite boxers face as they get older and try to remain competitive against younger, fresher opponents. At 37 years old, Crawford finds himself at a pivotal point in his career, where maintaining his place among boxing's elite has become an uphill battle. In particular, his move to the junior middleweight division has proven to be difficult. His struggle against Israel Madrimov, which ended in a close decision, revealed the difficulties of adapting to a higher weight class where opponents are stronger and more aggressive. Throughout his career, Crawford has relied heavily on his technical skills, intelligence, and ability to strategize effectively in the ring. However, as he ages, even these strengths are becoming harder to leverage, particularly when facing younger fighters who can maintain a higher level of intensity throughout the fight. The fight against Madrimov showed that Crawford's power and speed are beginning to decline, which has raised concerns about whether he can successfully compete at 154 pounds and beyond. The potential upcoming fight against Sebastian Fundora, if it materializes, will be a critical test of Crawford's ability to adapt and adjust to the challenges that come with facing a younger, physically superior opponent. Fundora, who is only 26 years old, is not only a powerful and high-volume puncher, but he also possesses unique physical attributes, most notably his 6'6" height and exceptionally long reach that make him a difficult challenge for any fighter in the junior middleweight division. These physical advantages, combined with his aggressive fighting style, mean that Crawford will have his hands full trying to neutralize Fundora's attack. To win, Crawford will need to work his way inside Fundora's reach, avoid being overwhelmed by the younger fighter's high punch output, and find opportunities to counter with precision. This will require an excellent game plan, near-perfect execution, and peak physical conditioning, something that becomes increasingly difficult as fighters get older. Crawford will also need to utilize his experience and superior ring IQ to find ways to disrupt Fundora's rhythm and capitalize on any openings he might create. One factor that could potentially work in Crawford's favor is his extensive experience in the ring. Having been a professional boxer for 16 years, Crawford has faced a wide range of opponents with different styles, and he has consistently shown an ability to adapt and make adjustments mid-fight. His understanding of timing, positioning, and movement has been a major reason for his success throughout his career. However, relying solely on experience without the physical ability to back it up could be risky, especially against a high-output fighter like Fundora who can put relentless pressure on his opponents from the very first round. Analyst Hank Lundy pointed out that, as a seasoned veteran, Crawford might need several rounds just to get warmed up, whereas younger fighters like Fundora can start the fight at full intensity. If Crawford starts slowly or struggles to find his rhythm in the early rounds, he could find himself falling behind on the scorecards, making it difficult to mount a comeback. Even worse, the sustained pressure from Fundora could put Crawford in danger of being stopped if he is unable to keep up with the pace of the fight. Crawford's aspirations of facing Canelo Alvarez also bring into focus the delicate balance between ambition and reality for boxers who are nearing the latter stages of their careers. While a fight against Canelo would undoubtedly be a massive event, attracting huge audiences and generating significant financial rewards, the risks involved for Crawford are substantial. Canelo Alvarez is known not only for his powerful punches but also for his technical skills, experience, and ability to effectively navigate multiple weight divisions. Moving up to face Canelo at 168 pounds would require Crawford to perform at his very best, as he would be giving up size, power, and strength advantages to the naturally larger fighter. His performance against Madrimov did not inspire confidence that he is ready to face a challenge of that magnitude. Canelo, who has fought the likes of Gennady Golovkin, Dmitry Bivol, and other elite-level opponents, has demonstrated that he can handle both power and skill, and a match against Crawford would be heavily skewed in his favor given the size difference. Therefore, it may be wiser for Crawford to focus on opponents within his current weight class, such as Fundora, and prove that he still belongs among the best in the junior middleweight division before even considering a jump to super middleweight. Terence Crawford's journey to remain at the top of the boxing world highlights a reality faced by many veteran fighters. The passage of time and the arrival of younger contenders create an ongoing challenge. As Crawford ages, his body is no longer able to perform at the same level it once did, forcing him to rely more on his experience and less on his athleticism. Throughout his career, Crawford has been known for his ability to control the pace of the fight, pick his shots carefully, and execute his game plan with precision. However, against a fighter like Fundora, who can throw an average of 80-plus punches per round, the challenge becomes about whether Crawford can withstand the pace while still finding opportunities to counter. Crawford's more calculated style, which has served him well in the past, may prove difficult to employ against a high-energy, relentless opponent who will not give him much space to maneuver. For Crawford to succeed, he will need to be in peak physical condition, execute his strategy perfectly, and make full use of his experience to find weaknesses in Fundora's aggressive approach. Ultimately, the potential matchup between Crawford and Fundora is not just about physical abilities and age differences, it is also a battle of styles. Crawford's cerebral, patient, and tactical style will be tested against the aggression, power, and youth of Fundora. If Crawford can execute his game plan, make Fundora miss, and counter effectively, he could prove that experience and skill can still overcome youth and raw power. On the other hand, if Fundora is able to impose his will and turn the fight into a brawl, Crawford could find himself overwhelmed and unable to keep up. The outcome of this fight would go a long way in determining whether Crawford still belongs among the elite of the junior middleweight division, or if he has truly reached his ceiling as a professional boxer.